Good Friday morning, everyone. Welcome to KSAT News Now. It is July 14th. Thanks again for hanging out with us on all of our different platforms. You can find us on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and also YouTube. Make sure to check out all of those channels. And also, this gets turned into a podcast later on in the day, so make sure to check us out on every place that you find your local podcast, which is Spotify, Apple iTunes, and all the good times there with the podcast. So we're going to be talking about what else? The weather. Justin is going to be standing by, or he's with us just a bit. We'll give you a quick hint. It's hot outside, but we'll see if there's just any relief in sight. I don't know, based on his reaction.
Nope.
I don't think this is going to be good. But yeah, we'll talk about that in just a little bit, and of course, go over some of your other headlines, national, statewide, and also some local stuff here. So we go ahead and start with a big national story though this morning. Big news this morning: the Biden administration has announced $39 billion in student debt relief. So the administration announced 804,000 borrowers will have their student debt wiped out in the next coming weeks. And this is due to administrative fixes that more accurately count qualified monthly payments. There are currently several different kinds of income-driven repayment plans for borrowers with federal student loans. After reaching a set forgiveness threshold of 20 to 25 years, a borrower's remaining balance is then wiped away. So a lot to go into there. So student loan repayments resume in October after a years-long pause during the COVID-19 pandemic. So we're going to be following this story there, the very latest information for you. Okay, moving on to this other big story from today, and this is some health news. The World Health Organization saying that the long-used artificial sweetener aspartame, which is found in many foods, a lot of Diet Cokes and things of that nature, could lead to cancer and should be categorized as possibly carcinogenic to humans. But there's a caveat.
Despite consistent positive findings in these 3 studies, the working group concluded that chance, bias, and confounding could not be ruled out with reasonable confidence, and thus they concluded that the evidence was limited.
Okay, so a lot to go on there. So while food and beverage companies worry that whose label will confuse customers, they hope that this designation will prompt scientists to do even more research on aspartame and a possible link, if there's any, to cancer. So at least for now, health officials recommend moderation when using artificial sweeteners. Again, a lot of that found in foods and drinks like Diet Coke and things like that. Okay, moving on to some big weather news here. Well, of course, it is hot outside, and Haven for Hope is making sure some families experiencing homelessness have a cool place to stay at night. The nonprofit organization installed a new $40,000 AC system inside their chapel on their Haven for Hope campus. So now families can sleep there overnight. Haven officials say that more than 20 families sleep in the chapel on any given night, and they see more families during the summer months because kids are out of school, so a lot more kids at home, and people are looking for any sort of relief, including water, shade from this triple-digit heat. So Justin, I was out there yesterday, so this is my story, and we were inside the chapel. It was 1 o'clock, so the AC unit was not working properly there. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was 91 degrees inside.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of these families were having to sleep in temperatures about that high 80s, low 90s. So good news for them. They have an AC unit in that building right now. But
that is great news.
Just goes to show, I mean, it's brutal outside.
Beyond. I mean, yesterday the temperature got up to 106, and that was not even a record, surprisingly. Okay. But today I think we may get close to a record. And look, you know it's hot, so we'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about the tropics. We do have a hurricane out in the Pacific. It's Calvin. Winds are at 120 miles per hour, gusting to 150, but this is moving away from land, so this is not an issue. We do actually have a subtropical system in the Atlantic now. This is a new one. This came in this morning. What does that mean? Well, it's kind of a hybrid. It's not really tropical. It's not really like a typical low pressure system. It's not going to do a lot, but this is subtropical storm Don. Winds are at 45 miles per hour, gusting to 60, and this is just going to move around in a circle. It's not going to cause any real big hazards. And by the way, the names, so now that we scratched down off the list, it's Emily, Franklin, Gert, and Harold up next for names of storm systems. Gert? Okay. I think that's short for Gertrude. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds about right.
It's a name. It's a name. The forecast today, 96 at 1 o'clock, 99 at 2 p.m., 102 at 3 o'clock, and our high temperature today will be Around 105. Heat index will be close to 108. This is pretty close to where we were yesterday. If we do hit 105, then we'll tie the record for the date. And it takes until 10 o'clock tonight before that heat index drops below 100. It is a brutal stretch. I know you probably don't even want to look at this, but here we are. 103 Sunday, 104 Monday, 105 on Tuesday. Some of these days could be records. Today could be a record. The weekend could be a record. Mark had the suggestion at 9 a.m. maybe to put the temperatures in Celsius because it feels a little bit better. Like 38 degrees Celsius versus.
I don't know. You can still feel it outside the moment you step outside.
It is. Yeah. It's tough.
It's a lot of numbers there, Justin.
A lot
of numbers there. So stay cool, stay hydrated if you are out and about.
Yes.
Yeah, all right, Justin. I know a story that you've been following very closely here. The 2023 Gerber baby. Did you know that this has been announced?
Did not.
Okay, all right.
Now.
Check out this. Look at this beautiful little girl right here. Okay,
Aww.
So meet Madison Mendoza. I believe that is her name right there. She is the new 2023 Gerber baby. So yeah, look at those amazing pictures of her right there. So Gerber says that the almost 10-month-old here has a joyful and captivating expression, which helped her to win the 13th annual photo search contest. Very cool stuff. So Maddie will be featured on Gerber's social media channels and marketing campaigns throughout the year. Her family gets a $25,000 prize, pretty cool, free Gerber products,
nice,
and up to 1 year. Yeah, you have two little Gerber, you went through all the Gerber stuff, right?
We know how that goes. Yeah.
Free Gerber products for up to a year and new clothes provided by Gerber Children's Wear. So a little bit more information here. So she's also comes from a military family. This is a first-generation family in the U.S., so congrats to them. And so she has done this for a while, taste testing, Justin. She's tasted everything from sea urchin to kimchi. Have you ever had sea urchin?
No.
Would you ever?
No, that's impressive.
Well,
though.
look, Madison Mendoza has had, sea urchin, so she's definitely qualified for this role as the new Gerber baby.
Congratulations! I didn't know they still did that.
Yeah. Would you ever eat some of that yourself?
The
Just
baby?
try?
The
Yeah.
baby food?
Yeah.
No,
you wouldn't
I'm good.
try it a little bit?
No, I'm good. No, well, it looks okay, but then. Then babies like spit up, and then it's then you don't. They just
stick to sea urchin.
Yeah, I'll stick to sea urchin.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap things up. Thanks again for hanging out with us throughout this week, and we appreciate you guys being with us on KSAT News Now. Again, you can find us on all of our digital platforms, also podcast as well. So make sure to check that all out. Have a good weekend, everybody. Stay cool.